How's it, Indian Cowboy? DocSports.com coming at you on Saturday, October the 7th. Have your free pick winner in just a second today. I think we had our free play selection winner for you yesterday. We gave you Kansas State and Oklahoma State under, which was a winner on Friday, and I believe we also gave you a winner on Thursday as well. Let's try to make it 3 in a row here for your free play selection, and we are going to go with the over between Notre Dame and Louisville, and I'll talk to you about that in just a second. So hello, I'm Indian Cowboy. This is Doc Sports. I have about 10 extra thoughts for you as well in this video. Welcome to the algorithms of Indian Cowboy. We've been around here. The algorithms have been around for 19 years at Doc Sports, and Doc Sports has been around for 53 years. I have a doctorate and a master's in biostatistics. That's how these algorithms work. Welcome to my podcast. Our best selections over at docsports.com under Rue and Shiva. Next best selections are YouTube Premium Thoughts, where we give you 3 extra thoughts every single day, all for just $20 a month. It is where we teach you how to fish and how to look at ball games more in depth. And for just $20 a month, you get close to 200 selections. Probably one of the best deals on the internet. Our final best selections are our free picks and leans on our daily video, which is the video that you are watching right now. If you want even more content, hop onto our Twitter for our consensus reports, our trends on late night ball games, and our hot takes on sports. So what is going on in our neck of the woods? Well, we have 2 football sections that are pending right now. Mississippi State and Western Michigan. Hopefully Mississippi State will do well. Of course, we are on the over between Boston College and Army. Hopefully that will do well as well. So we'll see what happens. We have a big football selection tonight between Georgia and Kentucky. And then, of course, our 7 unit goes off tomorrow, which we're excited about in the NFL, along with another 4 unit NFL selection in the Vikings game as well. So there you go. We have 5 selections on docket. We are on a 5-0 and 11-1 soccer run, which is pretty incredible. We're excited about our baseball selection today. NHL is 3 days away. I've already given you the 3 NHL futures for the year. I will give it to you again on this video as we're gearing up for that. NBA is 17 days away. College basketball is a few days after that. So between NHL, NBA, college basketball, we expect you to sign up for the season, and it's going to be fantastic. All right, let's get to your free play selection today. And I like the over today between Louisville as they hook up against Notre Dame. You can find that total sitting around, let's see, 53.5. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I do. And I think that what's going to happen here is that Notre Dame beat Duke 21-14. Do you know who the do you know the head coach of Notre Dame or head coach of Duke is? The former defensive coordinator of Texas A&M. That's why that team is so good. That's why he's turned around that team. Even though the team wasn't that bad, Cutcliffe did a good job of turning the program around, but he's taken it to the next level. Notre Dame beat this team 21-14, and they had to face a really good Duke defense. Louisville is nowhere close to that good of a defense compared to Duke. And Notre Dame only lost to Ohio State by 3, which is a game they probably should have won. They outgained them as well. So Notre Dame has not busted out in a couple of games on offense, and I think they finally do it here. And Louisville only had 13 points in their last game, but is Louisville ready to perform on prime time? I think so. I mean, look at Missouri. They performed on prime time, sort of, against LSU today. I would say that Louisville has been waiting for this moment for some time. I think Coach Satterfield does well, and I think they're an active dog today. I think Notre Dame is about to let loose after that Duke game where they struggled a little bit to score. And they're going to have a lot more openings today than they did against Duke. And I like the over 53.5 between Notre Dame and Louisville. Okay. In addition to that, I like the over between Minnesota and Houston in baseball today. So Minnesota swept Toronto to their credit, back-to-back wins. Does Minnesota keep up their streak of perfection here? Houston had a bye, but did sweep Arizona in their last 3 games. Minnesota did win 4 of 6 games against Houston this year to their credit. Ober and Verlander here. Ober went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run against Colorado last game. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs against Oakland. 5-3-2 against Cincinnati. 5-5-2 against White Sox. And you get it. He did struggle against Texas twice, giving up 11 hits to the Tigers and Royals. He has not faced Houston to his credit. I think given that he struggled in those 2 starts and given that Houston has been waiting for this game, I think Houston does well against Ober. But in the same token, Verlander, for as good as he's done, 5-2-0 against Arizona, 8-3-1 against Seattle, typically doesn't put together 3 straight quality starts. He actually had a 5+ and a 4+ postseason ERA the last 2 years, so he struggled in the postseason as well. I think it makes sense why Minnesota is only a +125 dog, and I like the over between those 2 teams. As it relates to Georgia Tech and Miami, that is your YouTube Premium selection today. As it relates to Syracuse, North Carolina, that's YouTube Premium. And the NHL futures. I talked about the NHL futures yesterday. You are welcome to go check out yesterday's video. But I like my top future this year in the NHL is the Buffalo Sabres over 92.5 points. I think with their Johnson in the back line and that defense, I think it's going to help this team on the defensive side. I think that's what they needed. I like the over 92.5 as my top future. My second best future is the Seattle Kraken over the 93.5 points. I think with Eberle and McCann and Burkowski and Schwartz, I think that team there's no stars, but they're such a gel unit as a team. So I think that team goes over. And I think my third future is the San Jose Sharks under 65.5 points. I think the Sharks are terrible, and I think they're going to get clobbered this year. Again, if you want to see the October 6th video or even the October 5th video where I talk about it in detail on the NHL futures. But there you go. As it relates to Philadelphia and Atlanta in baseball, that's YouTube Premium. Wake Forest, Clemson. I like the under between these two teams. Wake lost to Georgia Tech 16-30 last time. Wake had beaten Vandy and Old Dominion prior to that, and actually sit at 3-1. Clemson just beat Syracuse, but the question is, do you actually trust this team to win back-to-back games? Clemson did beat this team by 10+ last year, including 51-45 in overtime. That's not going to happen this year. I think Clemson's going to come back home. They're going to play fantastic defense against Wake Forest, and this game is going to go under the posted total. There's no way they're giving up 45 points like they did last game. And Griffiths threw 3 interceptions against Georgia Tech, mind you, too. So I think he plays a little bit better. At least they'll do ball control a little bit better. So I like the under there. Texas A&M, Alabama, that's YouTube Premium. Virginia Tech, FSU, that's YouTube Premium. Marshall, NC State. I like NC State. Marshall's 4-0, mind you, and NC State's 3-2. But Marshall has won 9 games in a row dating back to last year. Marshall's legit. But Marshall beat Old Dominion 41-35, and they beat Virginia Tech by 9. NC State lost to Louisville. NC State lost by 3 to Louisville as well. But I think they bounced back here. They beat Virginia. They beat UConn. Marshall's a very good defense. But they did give up 35 points to Old Dominion, mind you. They'd given up 13, 17, and 13 prior to that. I hate going against Marshall here, but I think the difference is Old Dominion's quarterback went 11 for 23 in their last game, and Marshall nearly lost to them. And I think NC State will come out focused after that tight loss to Louisville, and I like NC State. Virginia Tech, FSU, that's YouTube Premium. Arkansas Ole Miss, that's YouTube Premium. Vanderbilt, Florida, I still like the under in this game, and I still like Florida. Vandy just lost by 17 to Missouri and Kentucky. They can certainly score. The difference is Florida got ran all over in their last game, right, by Kentucky for 300 yards. I think Florida steps up on defense, and Florida gave up 33 points last game, and I think Vandy will lock down a little bit on defense somewhat. And at the very least, they'll keep the ball out of Florida's hands, and I like the under. I also like Florida to bounce back, but I like the under more. Saints, Patriots, I like the Saints. At the end of the day, the Saints trust their quarterback more, and their defense is fantastic. And I think that's the difference against the Patriots. So you have a 2-2 and a 1-3 team here. The difference here is that Carr only passed for 130 yards last game, and I think he'll bounce back as well. And I think the Saints defense is significantly better than the Patriots defense, which gave up 38 points to the Cowboys. Cincinnati, Arizona, YouTube Premium. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, YouTube Premium. Tennessee, Colts, like the Colts plus the points. You have a 2-2 team here. Remember, Taylor is supposed to come back for this game. Tennessee's a very fickle team, hit or miss, coming off a huge 27-3 win over Cleveland. The Colts, but Cleveland, of course, didn't have their starting quarterback. The Colts beat Baltimore and Houston. The Colts made a furious comeback to lose to the Rams late. Colts team don't forget, beat Baltimore outright without Taylor. I like the Colts here coming off a loss, and I think Tennessee has a huge letdown after their biggest win of the year. Houston, Atlanta, I like the over there. I can't go against Houston. They're playing fantastic. Stroud had 300 yards passing last game. I can't go against Atlanta. They're coming off back-to-back losses, including only, 13 points in the last 2 games. I think Atlanta bounces back on offense at home. I think Houston continues to play great and is a good active dog. And Houston's put up 30-plus points in the last 2 games. I like the over there. Jacksonville, Buffalo, that's YouTube Premium. Giants, Dolphins, YouTube Premium. Carolina, Detroit, I like Carolina plus the points here. What else does an 0-4 team have to do? And this is the game they're going to get up for, the one against Detroit. Carolina's only lost by 31 points in their last 4 games. That's basically a possession. That's pretty impressive. Carolina nearly beat Minnesota only after 130 yards of passing. Bryce threw for 200 yards in that game, and somehow Cousins beat this team with 130 yards of passing. And I think Carolina continues to get better. They continue to gel as a team, and therefore I like Carolina. Eagles, Rams, I like the over there. You know who will get up for the Eagles? The Rams will. A Super Bowl coach like the Rams will. And I think they're going to push this total over. That's why the total is sitting at 50. Phillies won 4 in a row, and they beat Washington by 3-2 in overtime as well. Keep in mind that, I'm surprised the Eagles aren't more of a 5.5 point favorite. The Rams haven't been playing particularly well either, but I can see them as an active dog here, and the Rams will have success here, especially at home, and therefore I like the over in this game. Jets, Broncos, YouTube Premium. Green Bay, Vegas. I still like the over between Green Bay and Vegas. I think 2 terrible defenses play here, and therefore I like the over. It is interesting that Vegas is favored. O'Connell might be a quarterback or Jimmy G might be a quarterback. It doesn't matter. They're going to bounce back on offense. Josh McDaniel will bounce back on offense. And Green Bay had a much better run in the second half of their last game, after that slow start against the Lions. And I think they'll start off fast this game, and therefore I like the over. That's what I have for you. I know it's a long video. Lots of thoughts. 11, 12, 13 thoughts or so. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you back here tomorrow. YouTube Premium, your video is already out. Indian Cowboy, please take a moment, like, and subscribe.